All right. Hi again, everybody. It's been a while, so we're going to continue 1922. So, largely featuring the St. Louis Browns and a little bit of trivia here for this St. Louis Browns team. Their slugger, Ken Williams, in 1922 becomes the very, very first player in baseball to hit 30 home runs and have 30 stolen bases in the same season. So, there's a little Browns trivia for you. Williams, forgotten player, an excellent player in his own right. So anyhow, we continue. So St. Louis won its opening game against the Chicago White Sox 5-2, and we're getting ready to play. So it'll be Shovel Hodge for the White Sox versus Dave Danforth for these St. Louis Browns. Let's get to it. Hey, there's Dwayne Martz. How you doing, Dwayne? Good to see you. All right, let's look at the lineups. And actually, I have this backwards, so it looks like Chicago is the home team, but that's fine. For the St. Louis Browns, leading off in right field, Jack Tobin batting second at third base, Frank Ellerby batting third at first base, the great George Sisler batting cleanup, the aforementioned Ken Williams, again, baseball's first 30-30 man. Batting fifth in center field, Baby Doll Jacobson batting sixth and catching Hank Severide. Batting seventh at shortstop, Wally Gerber. Batting eighth at second base, Marty McManus. And pitching and batting ninth, Dave Danforth. So Danforth in 1921 in AAA was 25-16 with a save, 329 innings pitched, 114 walks, 125 strikeouts, a 2.65 earned run average. For the Chicago White Sox, leading off at shortstop, Ernie Johnson, batting second at third base, Harvey McClellan, batting third, second base Hall of Famer, Eddie Collins, batting cleanup, and right field Hall of Famer, Harry Hooper. Batting fifth, center fielder, excellent center fielder, by the way, Amos Strunk, batting sixth, in left field, Johnny Mostill. Batting seventh at first base, Earl Sheely. Batting eighth, Hall of Fame catcher Ray Schalk. And pitching and batting ninth, Shovel Hodge. What a nickname you have there. Hodge in 1920 played at, or 1921 for the White Sox. 6 wins, 8 losses, 2 saves, 142 and 2/3 pitched, walked 54, struck out 25, and an ERA of 6.56 in 1921 for Hodge. So welcome into some 1920s baseball as we continue this little look at the St. Louis Browns and some of the other teams in 1922 as we move along. Hope everybody's doing well today. And Dwayne, hopefully all your projects are going well. I'm really, really behind on everything right now. So, oh, there we go. We're going to play the game in sepia tone. Why not? Completely by accident, but let's do it. All right, leading off, Jack Tobin for the St. Louis Browns. Tobin so far is 4 for 5 on the season. With a run batted in, Shovel Hodge will finish his warm-up pitches as we kind of go around here in a very sepia-toned Comiskey Park. So a lot of fun here. One of the new additions. Here's the 3-2 pitch. And Tobin gets a little knee buckler in there. Change up. Strike 3. So Hodge picks up a strikeout, 1 away for Frank Ellerby. Ellerby hitting .333 in the season with 2 runs batted in. The 1-1 pitch coming up from Hodge. Swung on, and this one is going to be dumped out into right field for a base hit. So Ellerby is aboard, and it brings up George Sisler, always a dangerous hitter, 2 for 5. Lefty waits for the pitch, the 2-2 pitch, and Sisler swings away. They're going to turn 2 here. They are not. It'll be a 4-3. So Sisler is the second out. Frank Ellerby moves to second on the play, and here's Ken Williams. Ken Williams with a cold bat, 0 for 5 thus far in the season, just in game number 2. Williams swings, and this one a sinking line to the right. This will get down for a base hit. Ellerby rounds third, coming home, and the throw is offline up the first base side. And Ken Williams with an RBI single, and the St. Louis Browns tally 1 in the top of the first. Here's Baby Doll Jacobson, so named for a popular song back in the day. Jacobson 2 for 5 in the season, hitting .400. The count 2-2 on Jacobson. Jacobson sinking line to the right, and a nice catch out there and right field by a Hall of Famer, Harry Hooper. That will retire the side. So the St. Louis Browns score a run on 2 hits. A runner left. We go to the bottom of the first. It's the Browns 1 and the White Sox coming to bat. Ernie Johnson will lead things off here against Dave Danforth. So looking at Ernie Johnson, 1 for 4 on the season thus far. Danforth peers in, has the sign from catcher Hank Severide. 1-1 delivery from the lefty Danforth. Swung on, easy grounder to second base. Gloving it is McManus and fires on to first. Johnson is out number 1 in the bottom of the first. Here's Harvey McClellan now. Hot corner man, 0-for-3 for the White Sox. Count full on McClellan. McClellan swings and drills this one into left field, and this will get down for a base hit. McClellan makes the big turn at first, but holds right there. All right, here's Eddie Collins. Has yet to get a hit in the young season. He is 0 for 4. We're going to show the spray chart here. There we go. Danforth deals. Collins swings. Grounder to second. And they're going to turn the double play. Innings over. We go to the top of the second. It's the Browns 1 and the White Sox nothing. It'd be Hank Severide, Wally Gerber, and Marty McManus due up for the Brownies. Severide, 1 for 3 in the season. Here's the pitch. Severide, first pitch swinging, blooper to left, but that's going to hang up as Johnny Mostel will make the catch in left field for out number 1. Let's look at the weather here in Comiskey Park today. Partly cloudy, 42 degrees, and a wind out to right at 13 miles per hour. So good day to bundle up for some baseball. Here is Wally Gerber. Wally Gerber, 1 for 3. The count, 2 balls, 2 strikes on Gerber. Gerber cuts on this one, and this one a little flare out into center field, but it's going to hang up there in the wind a little bit, and Amos Strunk will come in and make the catch. 2 up, 2 down for the Browns as Marty McManus steps in. He's 2 for 4 in the season with 2 runs batted in. Hodge deals. McManus cuts on the first pitch, and this one gets by first base into right field, base hit. So McManus will hold on. Third base hit for the Browns in the game, and it brings up the pitcher, Dave Danforth. Bats lefty. Hodge has the sign from Cracker Shock, the 1-0 delivery. Danforth, little dribbler to second. Plenty of time. A bit of a low throw there by Eddie Collins, but they do get the final out of the inning. No runs, a hit, no errors, a runner left. We go to the bottom of the second inning. The St. Louis Browns 1 and the Chicago White Sox nothing. Harry Hooper, Amos Strunk, and Johnny Mostel due up for the Chicago White Sox. And there's Aaron Reed coming into the ballpark. Welcome in, Aaron. Hooper 2 for 4. Dave Danforth, the southpaw, has the sign and the 1-1 pitch. Hooper swings. Fly ball sinking into center field and sinking right into the glove of Baby Doll Jacobson out there in the pasture. Amos Strunk now has an RBI. He's 1 for 4 in the season. Lefty-lefty matchup here. The 2-2 pitch to Amos Strunk. Strunk swings, and this one lined right to Marty McManus at second. So 2 up, 2 down now for the left fielder, Johnny Mostel. 0 for 1 on the season. The count full on Mostel. And that one missing inside. So a 2-out walk issued to Johnny Mostel and Chicago White Sox, and it brings up the first baseman, Earl Sheely. He has a home run in this season. He's 1 for 4. The 0-1 pitch to Sheely. Sheely swings. Not going to be a home run, but just a routine fly ball to center field. And that'll be Baby Doll Jacobson gloving that for out number 3. No runs, no hits, a walk, and a runner left on. We go to the top of the third. It's the Browns 1 and the White Sox nothing. And there's Bernie Strom. Hey, Bernie, how you doing? So that reminds me of Bernie in Thursday night around 10 o'clock on this channel will be the next episode of the Diamonds and Dice podcast. We're going to be talking about the Baseball Hall of Fame. So Big Clue will be our special guest on that show. Always controversy surrounding the Hall of Fame. We're going to be talking about players who should be in and aren't, players who are in and shouldn't be, and then tying it into gaming and opening it up to the chat and talking to people about Hall of Famers they've played either with or against in fantasy leagues or season replays. Have these players hurt you or helped you or whatever? For me, it'll be George Sisler, and I'll talk about an interesting thing George Sisler did in a fantasy league I was in when I was an undergraduate. Sisler is always tough for me. So join us 10 p.m. Eastern. Be on this channel. We switch channels. Bernie's mine, back and forth. So Bernie has some really good questions he wants to ask our guest, Big Clue. We've had a lot of talk about the Hall of Fame. So join in. It'll be controversial, but it will be civil. All right. We're back at the top of the order for the St. Louis Browns, and here's Jack Tobin. He is 0-for-1. So the Browns thus far 1-3-0. The White Sox 0-1-0. Shovel Hodge gets the sign from Cracker Shock. Here's the wind and the 1-0 pitch. The lefty Tobin swings, roller to second base. Gloved, little routine 4-3 put out. Eddie Collins will fire on to first. Earl Shealy for the 4-3 put out. 1 up, 1 down now for Frank Ellerby, 1-for-1 in the game. 3-1 pitch to Ellerby. Ellerby doesn't even move the bat. This one missing inside, ball 4. So Frank Ellerby aboard. And let's look at Ellerby just really, really quickly. Ellerby, let's see what he was as a base stealer. I like to kind of look at their records and everything like that. So Ellerby, not an aggressive base stealer, as we can see right here, but an able base stealer. Ellerby, we look here for his 1921 numbers here. Stolen bases, just 1. Was caught stealing 6 times. So again, not very aggressive. He's going to pick his spots though. All right, gorgeous George Sisler. His nickname. Sisler swings in the first pitch, drills this one up the middle. Base hit. Nice seeing eye single. And stopping at second is Ellerby. Thought about third, but strong arm out there in center field for Amos Strunk. So Ellerby holds second. 2 on for the Browns here in the top of the third. And 1 down for Ken Williams. And since somebody had heard it at the beginning, Ken Williams holds the distinction in baseball history as being the first player to hit 30 home runs and have 30 stolen bases in the same season. So Williams, speed and power. And for those of you in the Field of Dreams League, if you haven't picked this guy up, you really should and take him backwards. And of course, for those of you who will be part of the McGreevy League when it's resurrected, Ken Williams will be one of the players you'll be able to think about. So don't sleep on these players just because they're not in the Hall of Fame. Ken Williams was an absolute beast. All right. He's already 1-for-1 today with an RBI. The 2-0 pitch coming into Williams. Williams swings. Fly ball into right field. Measuring it up out there in the right pasture is the Hall of Famer Harry Hooper. So 2 away, and the runners hold for Baby Doll Jacobson. Here's another player you should definitely think about. So Jacobson, in 1921, 352 average for him, including 5 home runs and 92 runs batted in. This was a very, very strong St. Louis Browns team in the early 1920s. Hodge deals the 0-2. Oh, it's a balk. A balk is called on Shovel Hodge, and that's going to put both Brownies in scoring position. So Hodge upset, but there you go. Ellerby at third, George Sisler trailing him at second. Jacobson back in the box. The count even at 2-2. Jacobson swings, little flare into right field, but that wind helping and keeping the ball up there. And Hooper tracking it down for out number 3. The Browns strand 2 in scoring position, and despite the gift from the White Sox, they do not capitalize. We go to the bottom of the third inning here at Comiskey Park. The Browns holding on to a 1-0 lead. So again, please tune in. That'll be Thursday night. A bit of Hall of Fame talk on here. Here's Ray Schock now. It'll be Shovel Hodge. And then we go back to the top of the order. Ernie Johnson, Dave Danforth in 2 innings of work has walked a batter. The count full on Ray Schock. Schock rips and misses. All right, so 1 away, Danforth picking up the strikeout, and here is Shovel Hodge. 2-1 pitch to the White Sox pitcher. And this one, a little dying quail out to right, and that will come in and take its final breath into the glove of Jack Tobin, who calls off Baby Doll Jacobson. So 2 up, 2 down now. We're back at the top of the order for the White Sox shortstop, Ernie Johnson, who is 0-for-1. Danforth deals to Johnson. Johnson swings in an inside pitch here, and just a little soft fly ball out to left field. Ken Williams will reel that one in. The Chicago White Sox go 1-2-3. We head to the top of the 4th inning. It's the Browns 1 and the White Sox 0. All right, here's Frank Severide now, or Hank Severide, I should say. Nothing for one in the game. It would be Severide, Gerber, and McManus for the St. Louis Browns. Hodge with a strikeout and a walk in the game to count 2 balls, 2 strikes, and this one sinking liner into left field would down for a base hit. 5th hit for the Browns in this game. So Hank Severide aboard, and here's shortstop Wally Gerber, nothing for one. Gerber, decent contact hitter. Here's the pitch, and the runner goes. They get the bunt down to first. The hit and run was on, and Shealy comes over, and he would toss it onto Eddie Collins covering. So 1 away, and Hank Severide in scoring position. The White Sox or the Browns looking for a little bit of insurance here as the second baseman, Marty McManus, steps in. Here's another player that you probably don't want to sleep on if you have the 1920s coming up. So McManus in 1921 hit 263 home runs, 67 runs batted in for the St. Louis Browns. Ray Schalk sets the target for Shovel Hodge, and he sets and delivers the count 2-2 to McManus, and this one drilled to right, base hit. So the Browns making a little bit of noise here in the top of the 4th. That's the 6th safety for the Browns. Runners at the corners, 1 away. Shovel Hodge is going to try to induce the double play here from pitcher Dave Danforth, who is nothing for 1. Here's the pitch. Danforth, it's not going to be a double play. This one just a pop fly, shallow right, and out there to make the catch is Eddie Collins, showing that great range. Infield fly rule was in effect on that one. So the umpires call it. So 2 down and 2 on and back at the top of the order for Jack Tobin. Nothing for 2 in the contest. Shovel Hodge deals the 1-0, and Tobin clean base hit into right field. And Tobin will pick up the RBI single as Hank Severide comes in to score run number 2 for the Browns. All right, 2 away now for Frank Ellerby, who is 1 for 1. Runners at the corners for St. Louis. Jack Tobin hanging out at first, and Marty McManus 90 feet away at third from the stretch. And the 1-1, Ellerby swings. Roller to second. This is going to be close. No, this gets by the second baseman. Ellerby's going to pick up the RBI. The throw to third. Jack Tobin is in there just safe. Ellerby moves to second on the play, picks up an RBI single, and the Browns now lead the White Sox 3-0 here in the top of the 4th. So spoiling the series here, the opening series for the Chicago Southsiders. 2 away for George Sisler, 1 for 2 in the game. The lefty stands in. Shovel Hodge has the sign from Schalk. First base is open. Ken Williams waits on deck. The 1-2 pitch. Sisler swings. Slow roller to third. Plenty of time for McClellan. He'll fire onto first for the final out. But the St. Louis Browns pick up 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors. 2 runners left on. And the Browns holding on to a comfortable 3-0 lead as we go into the home half of the 4th inning here. Bernie says in Field of Dreams, just traded for 1925 Max Carey, who will start right field. Max Carey, one of the premier fielders in his day. And since I understand you guys are taking away the penalty because Carey will be playing out of position, but Carey, a fantastic fielder. He was called Scoops for his great range. A fantastic outfit, of course, Hall of Famer. And if Max Carey gets on base, he's going to steal bases for you. An absolute machine. We'll see Max Carey at some point in this season with the Pittsburgh Pirates. We'll also see Kai Kyler. To my knowledge, not too many. I can only think of one person in our YouTube sports gaming community that's done anything with 1920s baseball, and that was Sports Time Machine. Very briefly, was doing a 1920 project, and I don't know that ever finished. So I wanted to do some 1920s baseball. I hope you guys enjoy it. All right. And if anybody wants me to switch back to color, let me know. All right. So Harvey McClellan, Eddie Collins, and Harry Hooper due up for the Chicago White Sox. 1 for 1 for McClellan today. Danforth with a strikeout and a walk for the Brownies. 3-0 your score. The 0-1 pitch, the wind. McClellan swings on this one. Hard ground ball to first. Plenty of time for George Sisler. He will take it to the bag unassisted. 1 away. All right. Glad you like this look, Bernie. I think it's kind of cool, too. All right, here's Eddie Collins now. Collins, nothing for one. A lot of Hall of Famers in this game. A lot of excellent players in the 1922 season. Yeah, 3-2 pitch to Collins. And this one on the outside corner, just off the plate. Good eye up there by Eddie Collins, and he will draw the walk. Second walk issued by Browns pitcher Dave Danforth. And here comes Harry Hooper. Nothing for one. Harry Hooper, most largely associated with the Boston Red Sox, but also had an excellent career, some excellent seasons with Chicago White Sox. So we're in the latter half of Hooper's career. Lefty waits for southpaw Dave Danforth. The 0-1 pitch. Hooper swings and, grounded to second. 4-6-3, inning-ending double play. How about it? So side retired. The Chicago White Sox manage a walk, and that is it. We go to the top of the fifth. The St. Louis Browns 3, the Chicago White Sox nothing. It'll be Ken Williams, Baby Doll Jacobson, and Hank Severide. Ken Williams 1 for 2 with an RBI. Cold bat thus far, just 1 for 7. And that first hit of the season coming today. But you can definitely bet the farm that Mr. Williams is going to be heating up as the season moves along. Bernie likes the sepia look. He says he's going to be doing his 1917 Red Sox broadcast with this look. Awesome, Bernie. All right, Ken Williams ready now. Shovel Hodge has a strikeout and a walk through 4 innings of work. Here's the windup in the pitch. Williams flied out his last time. Long fly ball to left field going back on this ball, and he's not going to get to it. It's going to go all the way to the wall. Ken Williams isn't stopping at second. He's going for 3, and he is going to be in there. Ken Williams coming home. Could we have indeed the throw to the plate is safe? Ken Williams, we talked about needing him to heat up, and it's an inside the park home run for Ken Williams, and the St. Louis Browns now jump out to a 4-0 lead. Let's have a look at that one again and see whether there was even a chance for the fielder to get to that. I mean, Williams gets his money's worth out of this. We talked about his speed, and there is just no way. There is just no way. So Williams just running through everything. Cutoff man gets the ball, but by that time, Williams is already sliding in. So that one on a curveball, exit velocity at 105 miles an hour for those of you who are curious about those things, and 31 degrees, so a big line drive there by Ken Williams. All right, here's Baby Doll Jacobson, nothing for 2 now. 4-0, Browns lead. Chicago has managed just 1 hit thus far off of pitcher Dave Danforth. The 1-2 delivery coming in. And this one, easy ground ball to second base. And Eddie Collins will fire on to first for the 4-3 putout. So 1 away. And this one brought to you by Reed's Castor Oil. So apparently Aaron Reed's great-great-great-great-granddaddy was in the castor oil business. So get it for the grip, the consumption, and whatever might ail you, and restore the spirits in the blood. Here's Hank Severide now batting with 1 away and nobody on. Severide 1 for 2. Here's the wind and the pitch. Severide swings. This one blooped over short into left field. So the Brownies picking up their 10th hit, and they're seeing Shovel Hodge very, very well. All right, 1 out, 1 on here for Wally Gerber, the shortstop. Nothing for 1. Taking a look at Gerber's numbers in 1921. Again, another player not to sleep on. I'm serious. You have a chance to choose these Browns or anybody from this Browns team, you'd be a very happy person. So think of that from the Greavy League coming up. 278 average for him with 2 home runs, 48 runs batted in for Wally Gerber. All right. Good contact. His good eye up there at the plate. All right. 0-1 pitch to Gerber. Gerber bunts, shows bunt, fouls this one back. No balls, 2 strikes. Gerber swinging away, line drive, sinking line drive, base hit, right field. Gerber picks up hit number 11 for the St. Louis Browns. So 1 away, 2 on for Marty McManus. McManus having a great day at the plate, 2 for 2. The count full in McManus. McManus will take inside, ball 4. So Hodge walks him loaded, and that will bring up Dave Danforth. So again, now the White Sox are going to try to turn 2. We'll see. They don't want to concede the run at this plate, not down at this point, not down 4-0. Modern baseball, you might want to, but not with this Browns team. You don't want to play with this kind of fire. Danforth last time did not ground into a double play. It was an infield fly. 1-2 pitch to Danforth. Swing and a miss. So big strikeout there. So that's number 2 for Hodge, and very timely. As we go back to the top of the order, and right fielder Jack Tobin batting with the bases loaded. Tobin 1 for 3 with an RBI in the game. The 2-1 pitch coming into Tobin. Singled his last time up, and this one a routine grounder to second. And Earl Sheely will take it to the bag unassisted. So the Browns do pick up a run, and Ken Williams inside the park home run on 3 hits and a walk. They leave him loaded. We go to the home half of the 5th. It's the Browns 4 and the White Sox nothing. Thank you for joining me. I know Al's doing some football, and there's a premiere going on right now, too, on Legend Sports Universe. So I appreciate you guys stopping by and probably watching all 3 broadcasts at the same time. So that's the beauty of it all. All right, here is Amos Strunk and nothing for 1. It'll be Amos Strunk, Johnny Mostill, and Earl Sheely, the number 5, 6, 7 hitters, due up for the Southsiders. Dave Danforth with the 0-1 delivery. Strunk light out the center his last time, and he's going to bloop this one over short and into left field for a base hit. So Chicago picks up its 2nd hit of the ball game, and it brings up Johnny Mostill, pretty good contact hitter. The 1-0 pitch, and the runner goes, and the throw down, and good throw by Hank Severide to nail the runner. Amos Strunk caught stealing, so 1 away, bases empty. Mostill back in the box. The count 3 balls, no strikes, and this one way outside. Johnny Mostill will walk. So Dave Danforth picking up or giving up his 3rd walk of the game, and here's first baseman Earl Sheely, nothing for 1. Here's the pitch. There goes the runner. Mostill, they're not going to get Mostill. He picks up his first stolen base of the season. So a runner in scoring position for Chicago White Sox, trying to get something going here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Sheely back in the box. The 1-0 pitch. Sheely swings, grounded to second. Up with it is McManus, and he'll fire to Sisler for the 4-3 putout. And on the play, Johnny Mostill moves to 3rd, 2 away for the Pale Hose. And here's Cracker Shock, nothing for 1. Shock has yet to pick up a hit in the young season. To count 2-2 to Shock. And Shock sends this up the middle, base hit, and he will pick up the RBI single. Chicago White Sox get on the board, chipping away a little bit. It's now 4-1. So 2-out RBI single, and that brings up Shovel Hodge. Ray Shock at first. Hodge will need to swing away here. The 2-2 pitch. And indeed he does. And great stop at short, but they're not going to get him. So nice play by Wally Gerber, but Shovel Hodge picks up a big infield hit. Look at that nice attempt there by Wally Berger. That would have been a gapper. Berger doesn't get to this ball. Good speed by pitcher Shovel Hodge going down the line. All right, we go back to the top of the order now, and Ernie Johnson, who is nothing for 2. Red Sox with a run in here in the bottom of the 5th and looking for more. Did I say Red Sox? I mean White Sox. Danforth with the 1-1 delivery, swung on, and easy grounder to 3rd base, and Frank Ellerby is there and throws on to 2nd for the final out of the inning. But Chicago White Sox pick up a run of 3 hits, no errors, 2 left on. And we go to the top of the 6th. It's the Browns 4 and the White Sox 1. And hey, Mike in the truck, great to see you. He says, sup. And there's Robert. He says, you say goodbye and I say hello. It definitely counts. Welcome in, Robert. All right. Frank Ellerby now will lead off for the Browns, the number 2, 3, 4 hitters. Ellerby, Sisler, and Ken Williams. Again, I will say it. Baseball's first 30-30 band. 30 home runs, 30 runs, 30 stolen bases, 30 home runs, 30 stolen bases. Been a long day at work. In 1922. So Ellerby, 2 for 2 with an RBI. Ellerby, should the Browns hold on and win this, should pick up the MVP for this game. Shovel Hodge with 2 strikeouts, 2 walks. The 0-1 pitch to Ellerby. And Ellerby sends this high to right. Wind is going to carry that one a little bit. Enough time for Harry Hooper to reel in that big old trout. 1 up and 1 down now for George Sisler. 1 for 3. One of the greatest of all time right here. The 1-1 pitch to Sisler. Sisler swings. Roller to second. Sisler with good speed, but Collins, excellent range out there, makes the 4-3 putout. So 2 up, 2 down very quickly for Ken Williams. Last time up inside the park home run. So Williams 2 for 3 with 2 runs batted in. So actually it's going to be hard between Ellerby and Williams who will get the MVP of this game. The 0-2 pitch now to the slugger Ken Williams. Big cut and a miss, chasing out of the strike zone. Wicked change up there. So the Browns go in order. We go to the bottom of the 6th, and it'll be Harvey McClellan, Eddie Collins, and Harry Hooper. And George Sisler, he's a bum. Yeah, right. I'd take that bum on any team, any day, let me tell you. All right, here's George McClellan, 1 for 2. Or Harvey McClellan. I keep calling him George McClellan. George McClellan was a Civil War general who built a great army and never used it. Harvey McClellan. All right, here we go. Danforth up to 76 pitches. Not really worried too much about that in the 1920s, though. The 1-2 pitch on the way from the lefty. McClellan looks at a called strike 3, little knee buckler that dissects home plate. So 1 away for Eddie Collins. Eddie Collins, nothing for 5 on the season. The 1-1 pitch to the Hall of Famer. Collins swings and little blooper right to second, and Marty McManus will bring that one in. It's 2 away. Harry Hooper, nothing for 2 today. The 1-1 pitch. Hooper swings, and this one is going to be a soft little fly ball into center field, and going out and making the catch is a shortstop, Wally Gerber. So that does it in the 6th. We go to the top of the 7th. The score remains the Browns 4, the White Sox 1. And it says, love the grayscale game. Pitched this idea to Pro Strategy Football a year ago to be part of 1950s and some 1960s. Programmer needs to figure out a filter option. Was hoping to do it last year. Hope they do it. It really does add this. And there is a black and white preset into this. There's a like a washed out color TV. There's all kinds of neat little filters in this. So hopefully they do that. I think it really adds to just to that little bit of sense of immersion. I mean, obviously no TV in 1922, but still gives you that old-timey look, and I love that. All right, it's going to be Baby Doll Jacobson, Hank Severide, and Wally Gerber, the number 5, 6, 7 hitters due up for the 1922 St. Louis Browns. These St. Louis Browns finished 1 game behind the New York Yankees in that 1922 race. Very, very powerful team. Shovel Hodge has walked 2 and struck out 3 in 6 innings of work. Hodge at 103 pitches has some gas left in the tank as well. All right, here we go. The pitch. Jacobson swings, and that's going to be a little grounder back to the mound, but Hodge has trouble getting it out of his glove, and they're going to score that one an infield single. So here we go. Baby Doll Jacobson is aboard for Hank Severide, who is 2 for 3. Severide wearing his Washington Senators livery. Hodge peers in, has the sign from Shaw, checks Jacobson at first. Here's the 1-0 delivery. Singled his last time up, and this time grounder to third. They're going to go to second. McClellan up with it will go to second, and that's all. They're not going to turn 2, so 1 away. The fielder's choice, and here comes Wally Berger, 1 for 2. A 1 pitch. The runner goes, swing and a miss by Gerber. The throw down will not be in time. Hank Severide has his first theft of the season. 1 away, a runner in scoring position. As Robert says, I sometimes wonder, I know that Cal Ripken is the face of the Orioles franchise, but could Sisler take that title? You know, he was a monster in his day, Robert. I know you were just having a bit of fun there. I think that George Sisler, you have Hall of Famers, and I think that's another thing we'll talk about on the upcoming Diamonds and Dice podcast. That you have like some Hall of Famers like Elmer Flick who have been just largely forgotten in time, because of, Flick played, early on, 1900, 1901, whatever. But you have a player like George Sisler who was definitely a monster. I mean, the man hit 400, over 400 a couple times, and yet I would wager that maybe even only the most dedicated Orioles fan is going to know anything about George Sisler. Of course, you guys would. You guys are hardcore baseball fans here, but George Sisler, certainly one of the all-time greats of the game. I mean, there's no denying. I mean, let's take a little just to what Robert's talking about here. When you look at Sisler's numbers, I mean, the man is off the charts. So he played from 1915 to 1932. All right, a lifetime 340 hitter. He hit over 400 twice in his career. On 1920, he hit 407. In 1922, he hit 420. He stole 375 bases. Season high for him of 51 in 1922. Sisler was nuts. Only struck out 14 times. Sisler with 8 home runs. Lifetime 102 home runs. Not known as a slugger. Hit double digits in home runs 4 times in his career. A great player. And again, able to make that successful transition from dead ball into live ball. And in fact, his 2 seasons over 400, he hit in the live ball era. So actually starts to become, has a little fall off in 1926 and 20, and then 20 falls off again in 28, but consistent player, 1,175 runs batted in. All right, now a little bit of trivia for the chat. Who was the first baseball player to achieve the 3,000 hit milestone? No looking it up, and see if you know it. Try not to look it up. All right, here's Wally Gerber batting with Severide in scoring position at second and 1 away. The 0-2 pitch. And Gerber cuts on and misses. Nice change up there. So the changeup has been working pretty well for Shovel Hodge. So he struck out 4 and walked 2. Comes Marty McManus. I'll give you a hint. No, I don't have to give you a hint. Bernie Strom comes up with Hannes Wagner. Indeed, the first player in history to achieve 3,000 hits. Way to go, Bernie. You win yourself a case of Reed's castor oil. Use it for the grip. Use it for the consumption. Use it for the dropsy. Use it for whatever you want to use it for. It's also known as a great aphrodisiac. That's Reed's castor oil, on sale at a chemist near you. Here's Marty McManus now. He is 2 for 2 at the plate. Severide remains perched at second. The 1-0 delivery. Easy grounder to short, and up with it is Ernie Johnson. He fires under Earl Shaley. We go to the 7th inning stretch, and it's the St. Louis Browns 4 and the Chicago White Sox 1. All right, we're back again. Another trivia question here. I'm going to start doing some little trivias and stuff like that here and there. So, what Major League Baseball club holds the record for the most times in which hitters have hit for the cycle? What Major League franchise? And bonus points if you get the number right. Okay, it'll be Amos Strunk, Johnny Mostill, and Earl Shaley, the number 5, 6, 7 hitters, due up for the Pale Hose in the bottom of the 7th here. Comiskey Park on a chilly day. Dave Danforth deals the count even at 2-2, and Strunk sends this one up the middle, base hit. So Chicago picks up its 5th base knock of the game. Strunk making the round at first, but he will hold as Johnny Mostill grabs a stick of ash and strides to the plate. Mostill 0-for-1 in the game. A runner on for Chicago, down 4-1 in the home half of the 7th. The 1-1 pitch. And Mostill gets a hold of this one. Line drive, base hit. left field. And he's going to hold. Strunk will hold at second. So not going to run on Ken Williams, who indeed, not only with his power and speed, also a pretty decent arm out there in left field. Let's look at Ken Williams, his career here for a moment, just for giggles. So Ken Williams played from 1915 to 1931. Williams just 196 home runs. He had that big year, of course. This is his big year, 39 home runs in 1922. But steals, 154 lifetime steals. But you see here, again in 1922, this was that 37 steals and 39 home runs. I mean, just a monster year for Williams. Seems to be like his big year. Nice long career. Certainly not Hall of Fame numbers by any stretch of the imagination, but still, you get this guy in the right season, tough. A 319 lifetime hitter, so no slouch at the plate, certainly. 154 stolen bases lifetime. So, again, for anybody getting into a fantasy league, there's a guy to think about, Ken Williams. So I know that was a tough question there. So the number is 24 times this franchise has had hitters hit for the cycle. Now you just got to figure out who the franchise is. Answer at the top of the 8th. All right, here's Earl Sheely. Remember, that's more Reed's castor oil for you if you'd like it. It's, I swear by it. All right, Earl Sheely is nothing for 2. Here's the 3-1 pitch. This one, little blooper out to left field. Ranging in and making the catch is Ken Williams. Calling off Baby Doll Jacobson. So 1 out, 2 on here for the White Sox. Johnny Moss still at first. Amos Strunk at second for Ray Schock, who's 1 for 2, including a run batted in. The count, no balls, 2 strikes. Schock swings, grounder to second, and that's going to be a classic 4-6-3 inning-ending double play. Pitcher's best friend. Chicago gets 2 base runners in the inning, but they fail to capitalize. Top of the 8th. The Browns 4, the White Sox 1. All right. Good night, Robert. Sleep well. The answer is the Pittsburgh Pirates. So 24 times hitters in the Pittsburgh Pirates have hit for the cycle. All right, Dave Danforth, Jack Tobin, and Frank Ellerby do up here in the top of the 8th. So the number 9, 1, and 2 hitters for the 1922 St. Louis Browns. 0 for 3 for Danforth. The 2-2 pitch. Danforth up twice in crucial situations. Did not hit into the double play, but still made out. Swing and a miss. Again, Hodge working that changeup, and that's strikeout number 5. For the line for the Browns thus far, 4-12-0. The White Sox 1-6-0. Jack Tobin 1 for 4 with a run batted in. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Tobin. Tobin swings, sinking liner right field, and indeed it will get down, base hit. Playing it on the hop as Harry Hooper gets it back into the infield quickly. Tobin aboard for Frank Ellerby. 2 for 3 and a run batted in. Hey, Jamie, 24, then it should be the Giants for Willie Mays, but indeed it's the Pittsburgh Pirates. But that would be nice, a nice bit of poetry, wouldn't it? But yeah, it's the Pittsburgh Pirates have the most cycles of any club. The Boston Red Sox, I believe, I have to double check this, I believe the White Sox hold the American League record with 22. So what I'm trying to find out is how many natural cycles there have been in baseball history. So maybe somebody feels like looking that one up. Jamie, good to see you. All right, here is Frank Ellerby with a runner aboard. Top of the 8th, your score 4-1 here in 1922. This is game number 2 between these two teams. The 0-1 pitch. Ellerby swings, and this one a slow roller to short, and they're going to go 6-4-3, ending double play. So the Browns tell the White Sox, if you can do it, so can we. Or I'm sorry, the White Sox tell the Browns. Got it backwards. Bottom of the 8th now. And it will be Shovel Hodge. He's going to stay in there. Ernie Johnson and Harvey McClellan. Hodge 1 for 2. Dave Danforth 2 strikeouts, 3 walks. He scattered 6 hits thus far in 7 innings of work. Has walked 3, struck out 2. The 1-0 delivery now to Hodge. Base hit his last time up as an infield single. And Shovel Hodge says, we don't need no stinking DH, as Dwayne Martz would say. Hodge picks up his second single of the game. So Hodge aboard, we're back at the top of the order on Ernie Johnson, who was nothing for 3. Danforth, ready to deal. The lefty lets it go. 0-1 pitch. This is getting out into no man's land, but giving chase at shortstop is Wally Gerber, showing a lot of range out there. You can see that number. Very, very strong. We talk about strong up the middle. The St. Louis Browns are with Severide, Gerber at short, McManus at second, and Jacobson in center field. Got that right. How about it, Dwayne? All right, here's Harvey McClellan now. He's 1 for 3. 3-1 pitch. McClellan does not budge. Good eye up there. And the White Sox in the bottom of the 8th have 2 on. And here comes Eddie Collins. So Eddie Collins represents the tying run. Collins, however, an absolutely frigid bat. And an OPS right now of just 143. Again, we're only in game number 2, but still sporting an 0 for 6 on the season, 0 for 2 today in the game. Collins needs the timely hit right here to chip away more at this increasingly, seemingly insurmountable St. Louis Browns lead. Count full on Collins. Collins swings away, grounder to first, and they're going to go to short on the 3-6 putout, and that is it. Hodge will move to third on the play, and then the fielder's choice would be Eddie Collins. So runners at the corners, 2 away for Hall of Famer, pardon me, Harry Hooper. Lefty-lefty matchup. Count full on Hooper. Hooper draws the walk. How about it? 5th walk issued by Dave Danforth. Is it falling apart here in the bottom of the 8th for the St. Louis Browns? Here comes Amos Strunk, who's 2 for 3. Bases sold out. Harry Hooper at first, Eddie Collins at second, and Shovel Hodge 90 feet away at third. Golden opportunity here for the White Sox to cut in to this 4-1 lead. Strunk, as mentioned, 2 for 3. Danforth studies the signs from Hank Severide from the stretch. He's behind 3-0. Strunk doesn't budge, and a walk comes in, or a run comes in on the walk, as Hodge leisurely saunters. One does always, when one saunters, one does it leisurely. So the White Sox cut it in half, and the bases are still loaded. It's 4-2. Johnny Mostil, 1 for 1. Danforth in a little bit of trouble here. The 0-2 pitch to Johnny Mostil, and Mostil looks at a called strike 3. So the White Sox leave him loaded, but they come up with a run. We head to the top of the 9th. The Browns looking to go 2-0 in the season. Lead this one 4-2, and it will be the number 3, 4, 5 hitters: George Sisler, Ken Williams, and Baby Doll Jacobson. I'd like to thank everybody for coming in as we're approaching the 49-minute mark of this broadcast. Sisler 1 for 4 on the day. The 1-2 pitch from Shovel Hodge, and Sisler swings hard ground ball to short, taken easily by Ernie Johnson to throw out the speedy George Sisler. 1 up, 1 down, big out there for the White Sox. When we get to the bottom of the 9th for the Chicago White Sox, will be Shealy, Schock, and Hodge. We'll see whether the pitcher Hodge, with 2 base hits today, would bat for himself. All right, here's Ken Williams, 2 RBI in the season, or in this game and on the season. Included, it was one of them coming on an inside the park job. 2-1 pitch to the slugger. Williams swings, hard ground ball, plenty of time at second for Eddie Collins to fire on to Earl Shealy for out number 2. Here's Baby Doll Jacobson. He's hitting 1 for 4. The 1-1 pitch. Jacobson swings, grounder to short. No, this one gets by Gerber, or it gets by Hodge and Johnson into center field, base hit. So it's hit number 14 for the St. Louis Browns. And here's Hank Severide, who was 2 for 4. Hodge deals. The runner goes. The throw down. And they get him. They gunned him down. So the Browns run themselves out of the inning. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Chicago looking for its first win. St. Louis looking to go 2-0. Earl Shealy will start things off. Dave Danforth will stay in there. Danforth with some control problems in the last inning, but able to get out of it with just giving up 1 run. Earl Shealy, nothing for 3. The Chicago first baseman is due. The count full. Here's the pitch. Flew out his last time up. Shealy will ground that one. Diving stop at first by Sisler. And then the bad throw. So score that one. E3, George Sisler making the rare error. And it's the only error of this game. And here comes Schock now. Ray Schock, 1 for 3 of the run batted in. So the tying run comes to the plate. 3-1 pitch. And Schock takes ball 4. That's the 7th walk issued by Dave Danforth. And Shovel Hodge's day is done. And that will bring up Bib Falk, the pinch hitter, hitting 1 for 4 in the season. Danforth, 2-1 pitch. And Bib Falk grounds it to second. 3-6-3 double play. Shealy moves to third on the play, and it's down to Ernie Johnson now. Johnson, nothing for 4. First to third is Earl Shealy. Danforth from the stretch. And the 2-1 pitch. Johnson swings, number out in front of the plate. Pouncing on it is Severide onto George Sisler. And that's your ball game. All right. We had 3 double plays in a game, according to Steam. Very nice. All right. Let's look at it. The St. Louis Browns go to 2-0. The White Sox fall to 0-2 for the St. Louis Browns. 1922, 4 runs, 14 hits, 1 error. For the Chicago White Sox, 2 runs, 7 hits, no errors. The Browns beat the White Sox 4-2. St. Louis pitcher and Granger, Indiana native Dave Danforth led the way. Danforth, who led the American League in saves with 9 in 1917, went the distance for St. Louis. He gave up 2 runs and 7 hits. The Browns, now 2-0, have been playing some good baseball. Jack Tobin, who finished second in the American League with hits with 236 last year, had a direct impact on the outcome. Tobin contributed a run-scoring single in the top of the 4th to put St. Louis up 2-0. The player of the game is Dave Danforth. So there you go. I think we're going to give a nod also to Ken Williams, certainly, and Ellerby Jacobson also contributing to this game. So lots of fun stuff. So there we go. Turning 2. How about that? We had 4 double plays. 4 double plays turned in this game. Have a quick look at the standings in this young season and some of the teams that we will be seeing. So Bernie's White Sox have yet to play game number 2. So we have 4 undefeated teams in the American League: the Browns, Red Sox, Indians, and Yankees. And in the National League, it's the Cardinals, Cubs, Giants, and Phillies all undefeated. So let's see what game would be next in 1922. So let me see. We need to do a National League game. So it's either going to be Braves, Phillies, or Pirates, Cardinals. Probably going to be Braves, Phillies, just because it'll be fun to see Jimmy Ring pitch and Hugh McQuillan. So Cubs, Reds should be fun too. Actually, we'll probably do that. Vic Aldridge and Dolph Luke when we next convene for 1922, and that's it. Thank you, Dwayne. All right, so Aaron Reed, thank you very much. Was that Ernie Johnson Sr.? Well, I would hope so, since this is 1922. I think so. Pretty common name. Anyhow, thank you to Aaron Reed, Dwayne Martz. Hey, Trey, welcome in, and thank you very much. Or Trav, I'm sorry, Trav. Glad you had some fun here. 1920s baseball. Really appreciate you. I hope you'll come back. I don't broadcast as much as I used to, but hopefully we'll change that soon. Remind you guys, Thursday night, Bernie and I will be doing the Diamonds and Dice podcast. And it'll be on this channel this month. And it will be about the Hall of Fame. Always a fun subject. So we hope you guys will join us. If anybody, we're going to have a special guest, Big Clue. And we're going to have a nice chin wag about the Baseball Hall of Fame. Who's in that shouldn't be, who isn't that should be. Talking about some of the players who are in there. Certainly, and then switching it over to gaming, what Hall of Famer has hurt you or helped you consistently through your years of playing either cards and dice or digital or both of baseball. Yeah, I hope you join us, Trav. I really, really do. Thank you, Jamie. Yeah, this is a replay that I'm going to see through to the end. I'm having a lot of fun with it. And a little bit later on, I'll be talking about what happened in 1922, not only in baseball, but in the rest of the world, some of the milestones the players will be coming up on in this great season for a sadly a forgotten team, the 1922 St. Louis Browns. We're also going to see the Giants and the Yankees and the Pirates, some of the other powers in 1920s baseball. With that said, thank you to Trav. Thank you to Jamie. Jamie, we're going to get you on hopefully for the next Diamonds and Dice podcast with Bernie and me, so we can talk about the Sports Gaming Journal, what that's all about. So with not being now in Field of Dreams, I can sort of devote a little bit more time again to some other projects, and that's one of them. Bernie, thank you, buddy. So Bernie, Trav, Jamie, Aaron, check out Aaron. He's been doing a lot of Field of Dreams baseball. RGO Network, of course, always a treat to have him here, and great stuff. Mike in the Truck hanging out, and Mike in the Truck is largely a football fan, but for him to hang out for a baseball broadcast really means a lot. Thank you, Mike. Really appreciate you a lot. Dwayne was the first one in the ballpark today. Complimentary bottle not only of Reed's castor oil, but also Smith's magnetized water. So we'll talk about magnetized water next game. Until then, guys, we'll see you around the batting cage, and thank you for hanging out in 1922 with me. And we'll see you, if not sooner, we'll see you Thursday night, 10 o'clock for Diamonds and Dice, and we'll be talking about the Hall of Fame. Take care. Bye-bye.